A new report shows women in BC are waiting too long to have children. Statistics Canada says the birth rate for women aged 40 to 44 has doubled since the 1980s. Experts say it's not just a lifestyle choice, it turns into a health issue, one that could significantly affect the next generation. CTV's Louise Hartland reports.
Wow, look at those bubbles! The road to parenthood wasn't an easy one for Amy Beeman and her husband. The couple struggled to get pregnant with their twins.
We had tried to get pregnant for 2 years before that, and we had tried a couple of other things, a couple other drugs before we jumped right into in vitro.
A new report suggests most couples realize a woman's chance of conceiving decreases naturally with age. But Stats Canada says that isn't stopping women from getting pregnant later in life. The average age for a woman to have her first child has jumped to between 30 and 34 since 1991, when most women had their first baby by 29. And the birth rate for women between 40 and 44 doubled between 1988 and 2008. Fertility experts say the findings, coupled with misconceptions, are troubling.
Well, the concerning part is more people are ending up childless by default, because when they do delay and they get to the point where they start to pursue treatment and treatment can't compensate for age-related declines, they end up childless.
The UBC study finds there are a lot of misconceptions. 51% of women and 66% of men don't realize a woman's eggs are as old as she is. 91% of women and 92% of men believe until menopause in vitro fertilization can help most women have a baby using her own egg. 73% of women and 81% of men think if a woman is over 30, active and in good health, she is more fertile. That is wrong. 51% of women and fewer than half of men knew egg freezing before the age of 35 can significantly prolong a woman's fertility. The study also found most men don't realize their fertility also drops as they get older.
There's starting to become some evidence to suggest that men who are fathering children in their late 40s and 50s and 60s, that those kids have higher incidence of learning disabilities, autism, potentially schizophrenia, some forms of cancer. And that research is relatively new, but it does suggest that sperm parameters change with age, which makes sense.
Amy and her husband are just thankful in vitro worked for them. They admit they didn't know what they were up against before they started trying to have a child, something more and more families are dealing with every year. For information on fertility, visit myfertilitychoices.com. Louise Hartland, CTV News.